Majan Chain Company believes in adapting frontier technologies to cover the increasing demand of natural resources. Our blockchain-based technology aims to support the aquaculture growing sector here in Oman. By utilizing these technologies, we will be able to analyze, track, and manage the production processes of this sector. We as Majan Chain taking the responsibility to support Oman economy to become sustainable, manageable, and driven by the new era of technologies. We would like to thank Stotnext program for making us part of the gig economy. Assalamu alaikum everyone. I am Rayyan Al-Shidi, the CEO of Majan Chain Company. I am an applied chemist with a data analyst master certificate. We are living in a world driven by data, and data is the new oil. Processing of data helps businesses to be more effective, more sufficient, and can be used as the strongest tool to sustain many sectors. As Oman Vision 2040, we want to utilize the informational technology to make systems more sustainable. And we, as a Majan Chain, provide an integrated system to collect, analyze, encrypt, and track data. Initially, we apply our system in one of the most growing sector here in Oman, which is aquaculture sector. Fish farming sector involve many stages. Each stages provide us with a huge amount of data. And inconsistent data is the key problem in such sector, because if there is no inconsistent or tracking of the data, will be more difficult for the stakeholders to understand the problems. And we, as a Majan Chain, use many tools to collect data, such as Internet of Things, in-vehicle monitor system, and connect it to the blockchain to make immutable data source to be more trust source to analyze it in the further processes. We believe in Majan Chain. Initially, Fisheries Development Oman is our fertile environment to adapt such systems. Why? As we notice here, the aquaculture sector is growing rapidly within the last 4 years by a percent of 24% in growth, with added total value of 2.5 million Omani riyals. Moving from Oman to the Middle East, we have 1.7 million tons of aquatic products. It's a huge market and has a great potential. What is our competitive advantage? Our strength, our system can be applied in many production processes, not only in aquaculture. We can move from agriculture to the petrochemical processes. Also, we have talent members who have different and multiple backgrounds, including IT. And to starting, and as a revenue stream, it's a one-time investment with a direct contract with the production processes stakeholder. Our future plan is to grow more and reach the pilot stages. To know more about our idea and our project, please visit our website. And for sure, we didn't make it until this moment without my incredible team, Wafa, Budur, Sarah, and Faiza and Najla. And always, as you know, it's required talent to notice talent. And I believe that you are. Thank you, and join us in our journey. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Thank you for the presentation. Can you explain exactly the platform, what you exactly provide?
Actually, our company is a technical service company, provides integrated system. This is the main idea. It's a service that integrates many tools to collect and decrypt and analyze data. This is the initial idea. It's not only the platform or an app, it's a service company.
Okay, so you talked about aquaculture here. Can you explain in context of aquaculture what kind of value you would provide to them? So you mentioned as service. What kind of data you collect, how you will capture that data, how you will make use of this data ultimately, so client can benefit from investing with you.
I really thank you for this question, so that I can elaborate for the audience more about the stages. Can our technical team please go back to the slides? Still we have time. Okay. What's happened? Okay. This is the aquaculture value chain. The stages of the production of an aquatic product similar in many production processes, starting from broodstock, hatchery, which is nowadays in Oman it's just imported one, nursery, growers, harvest, processing, end with the consumer. This value chain involves minor processes and logistic process. We as Majan chain apply a collect data tool, especially as an initial stage, in nursery stage, which is the stage that the small baby fish grow and have certain or fixed environment to grow. And by using IoT in these stages, that can help us to maintain the conditions for the fish and make sure that the yield come from input certain amount of fishes, give us the same amount of production. So the importance of collecting data in such processes help us to know what's yield and when the problem actually occur. For this, the next stages, collect and encrypt and analyze the end stage, which is analyze, help us to visualize these numbers for not only the aquaculture expert, for anyone who has interest in this growing sector.
Okay, so have you captured which measures you want to measure exactly in this process? Do you have a technical background into fisheries, or you are purely data scientist?
Actually, I'm lucky that I have in my team an IT background, and we are all go through the learning path of .next program for data analysts. As initial stage, as you know, it's an ideation process or ideation stage. We need to start from a certain point. We did further research in just the grower stages, and we have how we can apply Internet of Things only in these stages. So we go through the researching process specifically in this stage, and we know it's an applicable and valid idea.
Okay. What you actually proposing is something very interesting, actually. So just to tell you from one perspective, it is the value of information, as you said, can be used differently. One is probably to control the environment where aquaculture is operating on, or you could optimize the certain efficiencies, or you can optimize on the production levels. But also, not only that, you can actually, by mapping this whole ecosystem, you could add value to the end product by bringing traceability. And one of the biggest challenges today in the fisheries market in Oman is actually the traceability of the fish source and the journey and the history behind it. So the more you show that, the faster we get the fish to the market, the higher the value it could yield as well. And if that is traceable and can be proved, that would be even something from technology's point of view very important. So I think you need to address, to be very specific on the problem you are solving. What kind of information you want to deal with, how you will make value out of that information, and how that will bring value to your end users of the system. But I think you are heading in the right direction, but just to ensure that you have a good focus into what kind of value at the end of the day you are trying to bring into the table, which matters from this whole process.
Okay. Thank you.
So
Thank
what
you
is your model like? And is this, are you looking to, how will you said this is first one-time investment. Don't you think this would be a challenging model? Like how would you ensure continuity then as a business if they invested and that's it?
Actually, me and my team did a huge research how we can innovate the revenue model. The beauty of dealing with data, it's not just a product that you can sell. You can innovate in other ways to have a revenue. So if just not a one-time investment, we can sell the data of any process. You know, the power of selling data nowadays, it's growing. Each research centers need an existing data, not starting from scratch. Someone else did the research in that point. So we think that just if we forget about the aquaculture, we can move to another sectors, agriculture. We can, if it's not applicable as one-time investment, we can do it as selling data. If it's not applicable, we can be a service company to analyze and encrypt and collect data. So it can be different type of revenue, not just depending on one-time investment.
I think you need focus here because having too many models could be also confusing sometimes. Sure. It's good to simplify your model. Mm. I don't think a one-time project would be sustainable for a business. Mm-hmm. Obviously, you need to ensure you have continuous running revenue streams, and you need to embed that, whether it is by maybe number of data points you need to deliver, or by subscription and probably maintenance, analytics. You can do that in different model. Obviously, you can package it later. But I would not suggest that you go from the beginning with a one-time project.
Sure. My colleague want to add something, please. Okay.
السلام عليكم. بس نستأذن يعني نتكلم شوي بالعربي عشان نوضح الفكرة أكثر. قاسين نحس إنها ما قاصة توصل بالصورة الصحيحة يعني هو البروجكت واجد كبير. بناخذ in initial stage يعني one stage only اللي هو راح يكون هذا قطاع في قطاع الأسماك والاستزراع. يعني راح نحط سنسرز في الكيجز تبع الأسماك. هذا السنسرز راح تكون اللي هي IoT، تاخذ نسبة الملوحة، تاخذ تغذية الأسماك، كل تغيرات temperatures، كل حاجة اللي هي راح تعطي إنتاجية أكبر في المستقبل يعني للأسماك. بعدين بترسل هذه البيانات كلها للبلوك تشين. يعني راح نستخدم تقنية البلوك تشين اللي راح تساعد إنه هذه البيانات يصير لها يعني ما ممكن أحد يغيرها، بلس إنه هذه البيانات بيكون فيها أنالايز بعدين اللي هي راح تزيد الإنتاجية بشكل أكبر. يعني راح نستخدم IoT، راح نستخدم بلوك تشين، راح نستخدم different tools يعني for data analyze like Tableau as initial stage. يعني بس حبينا نوضح هذه النقطة إنه في process يعني كبير جالس يمر in each stage. مبدئياً راح ناخذ الجروورز اللي هو راح يركز على إنه بعد ما تنتقل الأسماك من مرحلة الحاضنة إلى مرحلة إن هم يلاحظوا إن هذه الأسماك قاسة تكبر، هنا راح نركز إنه يكون بعدها لما يحسبوا بالطن. يعني نحن قاسين نمشي مثلاً، خلنا نقول قاسين مع رؤية عمان 40 إنه إنتاجية بالطن في قطاع الاستزراع السمكي راح تكون واجد كبيرة، وهذا من ناحية الاقتصاد راح يكون شيء واجد كبير اللي هو نحن قاسين نركز عليه. يعني هذا التراكينج سيستم اللي بيكون موجود بيساعدهم إن هم يعرفوا وين الميسنج أو وين الجاب الموجود في هذا القطاع. هذا يعني اللي حبيت أوضحه.
شكرا جزيلا. مجرد small comment to you guys. I think you're sitting on a gold mine with this idea. It just needs to be tweaked. And this is just an idea, take it or leave it. يعني. I think your big thing is not the blockchain, it's more of AI. That should be your main revenue target. Because you'll be sitting on tons of data, as you've mentioned, data is the big oil, is the next oil. يعني. And I think if you can track patterns that would help these companies to optimize their production and focus into one segment. يعني production and logistics, it's going to be a mess. You need to focus on one thing so that you can add the stickiness bit in your business. Anybody can sell a sensor, it's readily available off the shelf. It's the analytic part that would make companies interested with your platform, with that automation, with that early detection that would advise the operator what to do next. إذا مثلا في some kind of a problem in these هذه الأحواض ولا أي شيء. So I think you need to just perhaps tweak it so that this can add scalability to your business. Don't just think of FDO. FDO will have a limited capacity for Oman because of limited resources. Think big. Think of Asia. Think of other countries outside Oman. This is just something for you guys.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
السلام عليكم.
وعليكم السلام.
طبعا it's a very nice project.
Thank you.
And it touches the most important for me sector is the fishery and blue ocean economy in general. However, I have noticed that you have mentioned that you have gone through many information and research.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't hear about best practices somewhere else, like in Indonesia or in Australia, China, other countries who are famous for fisheries and fisheries farming. So I think this project is not easy and cannot be seeing the light as you have showing it's easy to be implemented. It's never going to be easy to be implemented. So I recommend that you try to tie up with one of the famous companies in other countries to form a medium-sized company in Oman between the group who's going to be investing in this kind of technology in the fishery sector and specifically in certain stage in the fishery value chain, and try to learn from their knowledge, because it's not as only us, we are a very small market compared to the other country, which has been many years and they have the quota of this fisheries. So you need to tie up with them and establish a business from there. Only Oman, only FDO is not going to be helping much. So I recommend you tie up with one of the known company in the world.
Thank you from your expert point of view. Further question?